Have you ever wondered why the topic of oral intimacy often remains so quiet and mysterious? Many women feel insecure when it comes to this topic, as if it were something that should not be spoken about out loud. Perhaps you wonder if you are the only one who thinks this way, or if what you are experiencing is normal. This is completely understandable. In our society, many things are talked about openly, but intimacy often remains hidden, especially when it comes to the finer details. This silence creates a wall that makes it difficult to really open up and recognize your own desires and needs. You are not alone with these questions. Many women, even at a mature age, sometimes feel insecure, don't know how to express their feelings, or are afraid of not being understood. Perhaps this reminds you of moments when you preferred to withdraw, out of shyness, or because you thought it wasn't appropriate. But here's the truth. Your desires, your doubts, and even your longings are completely natural and deserve attention. Imagine how liberating it would be if you could talk about what really moves you without shame or fear, if you allowed yourself to be honest with yourself and with your partner. Because intimacy is more than just physical closeness, it is a dance of trust, openness, and mutual respect. In this space of honest communication, healing can happen. Perhaps you have believed that your experiences are unique or not important enough to share. But it is precisely in community, in exchange, that strength lies. There is so much we can learn from each other. This topic deserves to be brought to light, so that you no longer have to struggle with insecurities. You have the right to be heard and seen with all your feelings and questions. Let's go on a journey together, where you can discover more clarity, self-confidence, and joy in your intimacy. Because it's never too late to stand up for yourself and enjoy life to the fullest. Many women feel insecure when it comes to oral intimacy. You may ask yourself, am I the only one who feels this way? Is what I'm experiencing normal? These doubts are completely natural, and you are by no means alone. Margaret, a 68-year-old woman from Munich, tells how she thought for years that she had to hide her desires for fear of not being accepted. Silence often reigned in her marriage when it came to this topic. She felt isolated, even though she longed for intimacy. It was only when she began to speak honestly with her partner that everything changed. She discovered that he also had insecurities and longed for more closeness. This mutual understanding opened doors to a new intimacy that fulfilled both of them. You need to know that conversations like this take courage, and that's perfectly okay. It's like gardening. Only when you loosen the soil and sow seeds can something new grow. Heinrich, a 72-year-old retiree from Hamburg, describes how small gestures of affection, conversations, and sharing fears have deepened his relationship. The most important insight: you are not alone with your questions or fears. Many couples experience similar insecurities, especially as the years go by. Physical changes, declining energy, or past experiences can influence the feeling of no longer being good enough. However, this is a fallacy. Your value as a person and as a partner remains unchanged. The challenges that come with aging are like clouds that obscure the view of the sky, but the sky is always there. It is perfectly understandable that some things are not as easy as they used to be, but that is precisely why it is important to remain open and support each other. Communication is the key that opens doors to greater understanding and trust. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to express your wishes without shame or fear? How much lighter your heart could be if you were truly understood? You are not alone on this journey, and there are many who share your thoughts. The first step is often the hardest, but it is the beginning of something wonderful. There can be many reasons for remaining silent about oral intimacy. Perhaps you feel that it is not talked about because it is a taboo subject, something that is not openly discussed. This is completely normal, and is not a sign of weakness or shame. Elizabeth, 75, from Berlin, remembers how she felt insecure for a long time because she didn't know what to expect or what was right. Her previous relationship was marked by silence, and many questions remained unanswered. This uncertainty led to inner reserve, even though she longed for more closeness and trust. But here's the truth. Silence creates distance where there could be closeness. It's like closing a door that could lead to a world of understanding and shared joy. Friedrich, 80, from Cologne, recounts how he used to think that such topics were not for older couples. But when he and his partner began to talk openly about their desires and fears, they discovered a new level of connection. It was as if a heavy burden had been lifted from their shoulders, and they felt freer and closer to each other. The conversation was like fresh air in a room that had been closed for a long time. You are not alone if you wonder how to express your needs without feeling vulnerable. It is a journey that requires patience and trust. Many women report that sharing their thoughts and feelings leads to greater self-confidence and a sense of control over their own well-being. The fear of being judged or misunderstood can be paralyzing. But what if you face those fears head-on? What if you realize that your needs are just as important as your partner's? Understanding that intimacy is a shared adventure can open doors that previously seemed closed. You have more control than you think, and it's never too late to break the silence and give yourself and your partner this chance. In this chapter, I would like to share with you 8 surprising truths about oral intimacy that many women discover late in life, and that can permanently change your understanding and experience. Perhaps you already suspect that there is more to it than just physical closeness. It's about trust, self-confidence, and the interplay between body and mind. The first truth is that your desires and boundaries are allowed to change over the years. Margaret, 70, told me how she used to believe she always had to perform to please her partner. Today she knows that it's okay to say what feels good and what doesn't. The second insight is that communication is the foundation of any fulfilling intimacy. Heinrich from Hamburg emphasized how openly he and his wife talk about their needs, which strengthens their relationship. Third, knowing your own body is an important key. Many women only learn later what kind of touch and rhythms they really enjoy. Elizabeth found more self-confidence through patience and openness. Fourth, intimacy is not a one-way street. Mutual give and take creates closeness and trust. Fifth, it is important to break free from social taboos. Friedrich says that he and his partner are finally free to talk about their desires without feeling ashamed. Sixth, oral intimacy can also be an act of self-care, a way to appreciate your own body. Seventh, studies show that intimacy reduces stress and promotes well-being, especially in old age. And eighth, it's never too late to discover new ways of intimacy and enrich your love life. Each of these truths is like a seed you can plant to foster a fulfilling and vibrant relationship. You are not alone on this journey. Together, we can break the silence and create more openness so that you feel seen, understood, and valued. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how Margaret took this path and what changes she experienced. Until then, remember, your desires are important, and you have the right to live them. Margaret was always a woman who valued harmony. In her 68 years, she had learned to often put herself last, especially when it came to intimacy. For a long time, oral intimacy was a taboo subject for her, one that was hardly ever discussed, not even with her husband. She sometimes felt insecure and didn't know how to express her desires for fear of disappointing her partner or being unpleasant. This insecurity led her to withdraw often, even though she longed for closeness and understanding. It was only when a good friend encouraged her to talk more openly about her needs that Margaret began to question things. She realized that a relationship is not just about giving, but also about receiving and showing yourself. With a trembling voice, she began a conversation with her husband. He was surprised but also relieved, because he had similar thoughts and fears but hadn't dared to open up. This honest conversation opened doors that had previously been closed. They learned to listen to each other without judging, and together found out what felt right for both of them. Margaret felt a new lightness and joy creeping into her life. She felt alive again, understood and valued. This change not only affected her love life, but also strengthened her self-confidence in other areas of her life. Margaret realized that it is never too late to stand up for yourself, and that it is okay to have your own desires and to express them. Her story shows how important it is to take courage and break the silence. You are not alone with your feelings, and there is always a way to achieve greater closeness and fulfillment. If this resonates with you, remember, the first step begins with the courage to be honest with yourself and your partner. Heinrich, 72, has experienced a lot in his life. He is successful in his career and has always been there for his family. But when it came to intimacy, he was often reserved. For him, oral intimacy was a topic that was not discussed openly, especially in his parents' home, where it was taboo. When his wife broke the silence one day and expressed her desires, he was surprised but also grateful. It opened up a space for real communication that had been missing before. Heinrich learned that listening is just as important as speaking. It wasn't just about technique, but about feeling understood and appreciated. He realized that intimacy means much more than just physical closeness. It is an expression of love, trust, and mutual respect. Heinrich began to talk more openly about his own insecurities, and together with his wife, they discovered new ways to keep their relationship alive. It became clear to him that age is no barrier to curiosity and discovery. This openness not only brought more joy, but also a deeper connection between the two. Heinrich feels more comfortable and confident today because he knows that honesty and communication are the keys to fulfilling intimacy. His story shows that it's never too late to try new things and overcome fears. If you sometimes feel insecure, know that you are not alone. The courage to be open can open doors that were previously closed. Trust that your partner wants to hear and respect your wishes. Together you can start a new chapter full of closeness and understanding. Intimacy is a gift that grows with every act of openness. No matter what age you are, Klaus, 74, has lived his entire life with curiosity and openness to new things. Even in his mature years, he still feels this curiosity within himself, especially when it comes to his love life. For him, oral intimacy has never been uncomfortable, but rather an invitation to get to know himself and his partner better. He recounts how he and his wife Elizabeth have always found new ways to keep their connection alive. It was important to Klaus that they could talk openly and honestly about their desires without shame or inhibitions. He emphasizes that it is never too late to remain curious and embark on the adventure of intimacy. Even after many years together, there are still moments of discovery and amazement. Klaus also talks about small misunderstandings that they have overcome together. For example, when they had different ideas and only found common ground through honest conversation, this did not strain their relationship, but strengthened it. For Klaus, intimacy is more than just physical closeness. It is an expression of trust, respect, and the joy of spending time together. He wants to encourage women to explore their desires and not be afraid to share them. Often, it is the fear of rejection that holds us back. But this fear is unfounded if your partner is open and loving. Klaus's story shows that openness and curiosity can bring joy throughout your life. You can rediscover your intimacy if you are willing to allow yourself to feel, ask, and share. Your relationship deserves to be nurtured with attention and love, just like a garden that blooms when it is well cared for. Elizabeth, 69, avoided the topic of oral intimacy for a long time because it was considered taboo in her generation. She grew up in a family where such things were not discussed. But over time she felt that this silence was weighing on her. She wanted more closeness and understanding, but felt unsure how to bring it up. Her marriage to Klaus was loving, but they often failed to talk about their desires. One day, Elizabeth decided she didn't want to remain silent any longer. With her heart pounding, she began to share her thoughts, hesitantly at first, then with increasing confidence. She discovered that her husband listened to her and respected her feelings. This open conversation was a turning point. Elizabeth finally felt seen and understood. She learned that taboos are just walls we build ourselves. By tearing down these walls, she opened up space for trust and closeness. This experience not only strengthened her relationship, but also her self-confidence. Today, Elizabeth understands how important it is to talk about intimacy, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. She encourages other women to take the time to explore their own needs and communicate them courageously. It's not about being perfect, but about being authentic and honest. Elizabeth's journey shows that it is possible to overcome old beliefs and find a new freedom and togetherness. She says, it's never too late to rediscover yourself and your partner. Her story is an invitation to take your own desires seriously and find the courage to express them, because only then can intimacy become a fulfilling experience that touches the heart and soul. For a long time, Werner's role in intimacy was a silent challenge for him. As a 75-year-old man, he noticed how conversations with his wife Elizabeth about oral intimacy began hesitantly and were often marked by uncertainty. He remembered how he himself sometimes felt unsure, not knowing exactly how to recognize her desires and respond to them. But over time, Werner learned that listening is the first step, not just hearing the words, but understanding the feelings behind them. He realized that intimacy is a language spoken with the heart and mindfulness. Werner began to take more time for conversations, without pressure or expectations, simply to be present. This openness created space for trust and new experiences. He realized how important it is to support your partner and discover new paths together without being guided by fears or old patterns. It wasn't an easy process for Werner, but it was one that was worth it. He felt closer to Elizabeth and understood that intimacy is more than just physical closeness. It is an expression of love, respect, and connection. Werner wants to encourage other men to embark on this journey as well, because it's never too late to get to know yourself and your partner in a new way. Communication, patience, and mutual understanding are the keys to fulfilling intimacy. His story shows that men play an important role, not only as partners, but as active creators of shared happiness. If you sometimes feel insecure, remember, you are part of a team, and together you can overcome any challenge. Trust in your ability to listen, feel, and be open. Intimacy is a gift that grows with every conversation. I am very happy that you are watching this video and engaging with such a personal topic. If you find this insightful and helpful information valuable, I would appreciate it if you would leave a comment with the number 3 below. That way I can see that you are here, and we can create a supportive community together. Your experiences, thoughts, and questions are important and can encourage other women to open up as well. This topic touches many, but is often kept quiet. That's why your voice is so important. Perhaps you already have your own stories, challenges, or tips to share, or maybe you have questions that are on your mind. Don't hesitate to share. Together we can break the silence and create space for honest conversations. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey. If you haven't already, I would be delighted if you would subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any more videos. Your support helps us to continue producing content that informs, inspires, and encourages. In the coming chapters, I will share more stories and practical tips to accompany you on your journey. You are not alone. Together we can create an atmosphere where you feel safe and understood. Your openness is the first step toward greater self-confidence and fulfilling intimacy. Thank you for being here. I look forward to continuing on this journey with you. Helga, 71, put her own need for intimacy on hold for a long time. She thought that with age, the topic simply no longer belonged in her life. But then she realized that the opposite was true. For Helga, the courage to accept herself and her desires became a powerful step forward. She began to explore her body with confidence and discovered new ways to please herself and her partner. She learned that self-care and self-love are the foundation for fulfilling intimacy. Helga's story shows how liberating it can be to let go of old inhibitions and accept yourself, with all your needs and feelings. It was important for her to be patient with herself and take small steps. She began reading books, talking to others, and breaking free from taboos. Her partner lovingly supported her on this journey. Together they found rituals that strengthened their connection and led to greater trust. Helga felt her life becoming richer, not only in terms of intimacy, but also in her relationship as a whole. She wants to encourage women to be brave and give themselves space. It's never too late to rediscover yourself and treat yourself with appreciation. Helga's journey is an example of how intimacy can be vibrant and fulfilling in old age if we allow ourselves to be honest with ourselves. She says, "I have learned that I am worthy of love, just as I am." Her story invites you to find that courage and celebrate the gift of self-acceptance. Friedrich, 76, has experienced many changes in his life, including in his relationship with his wife Helga. In the past, oral intimacy was almost taboo for both of them, something they hardly ever talked about. But Friedrich realized that openness and honesty are the foundation of a fulfilling love life, especially in old age. He began to actively seek conversation to clear up misunderstandings and share his desires. This willingness brought a breath of fresh air into their relationship. Friedrich recounts how patience and understanding enabled him to build a new closeness with Helga. It was important to him that both partners felt secure and valued. He emphasizes that every person has individual needs that can change over the years. Mutual empathy creates trust and enables new experiences to be shared. Friedrich recalls moments when small gestures of affection and attention deepened the connection between them. It wasn't just about technique, but about feeling seen and loved. His story shows that it's never too late to break old patterns and focus on what's important: closeness, respect, and shared joy. Friedrich wants to encourage women and men alike to be open and engage with each other, because intimacy is a gift that needs to be nurtured with love, patience, and mutual understanding. Together you can create a fulfilling and happy relationship that grows and matures with each passing year. Your willingness to engage with each other is the key to greater satisfaction and closeness. Practical tips can make the path to greater closeness and mutual understanding much easier. Start by making time for each other, without distractions or stress. A cozy evening together, where you talk openly about your desires and boundaries, creates trust and security. It is important that you listen to each other without judging, and that you notice even small signals that your partner sends out. Sometimes it's the little gestures that say a lot. Use touch to show closeness, whether it's a gentle hand on the arm or a loving look. Don't be afraid to try new things and find out what brings you both joy. Humor is also important. Laughter connects people and lightens the mood. If you feel unsure, It can be helpful to read information together or seek inspiration from trusted sources. Remember that patience is an important companion. Change takes time, and it's perfectly okay if not everything works right away. A relaxed attitude takes the pressure off and makes being together more enjoyable. When you are both willing to engage with each other, a connection develops that goes far beyond the physical. This will make your relationship stronger and more fulfilling. Small rituals, such as having breakfast together or going for a walk, can also promote emotional closeness. Don't forget that self-care also plays an important role. The more comfortable you feel in your own skin, the easier it is to allow closeness. Take care of your health, your mind, and your well-being. It will have a positive effect on your relationship. It is up to you to create more closeness and understanding step by step. It is a path that is worthwhile and will enrich your life together. You have more control over your love life than you might think. Self-determination and well-being are not opposites, but belong together. Especially in mature age, it is important to listen to your own needs and give yourself permission to live them. Many women report how liberating it is to break free from old expectations and taboos and see themselves as valuable and desirable. Well-being starts from within. When you treat yourself with respect and love, you radiate that to others. Take time to explore your body. Find out what feels good and integrate that into your own rhythm. It's never too late to rediscover yourself and your partner. You have the right to experience joy and closeness in your life, without guilt or shame. When you realize that intimacy is more than just physical closeness, new doors to emotional connection and joie de vivre open up. You are not alone on this journey. Many women share your questions, doubts, and hopes. This community can strengthen and encourage you. Trust that you are doing the best for yourself when you are honest with yourself. Small changes can have a big impact. An open conversation, a loving look, a tender touch. You are the creator of your own well-being and satisfaction. It takes courage and patience, but you are worth it. Your well-being is the best foundation for a fulfilling love life. Follow your path with confidence, because you have the power to take control of your life and enjoy your intimacy. This is your gift to yourself and your partner. Finally, I would like to encourage you to take good care of yourself and seek out the community that strengthens you. Intimacy is not just a physical experience, but an expression of closeness, trust, and connection that enriches your life. You are valuable and deserve to feel loved and understood in every phase of life. Stay open to conversations with your partner, but also with yourself. Allow yourself to recognize and express your desires. You may also find people with whom you can share your thoughts in friendships, groups, or with professionals. You don't have to walk this path alone. A supportive community gives strength and courage. Remember, you are not alone. Many women have had similar experiences and share your questions and hopes. By opening up, you create space for growth and healing. Subscribe to this channel to continue receiving valuable inspiration and support. Together, we can create an atmosphere where you feel safe, understood, and empowered. Your journey to fulfilling intimacy is a gift to yourself. Move forward with confidence, patience, and self-love. You are important, and your needs deserve to be taken seriously. Thank you for spending this time with me. I look forward to accompanying you on further topics that will help you live a vibrant and fulfilling life at any age. Stay healthy, strong, and connected. You are worth it.